Who's behind you? Huh? That's pretty good, Lolita. It's pretty good. It's sticking up. It's pretty good. As long as I don't knock it. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Gopijan Vallabha Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami, Shri Bhagavan Ki Jai. Purantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glory is to the assembled devotees. All glory is to the assembled devotees. All glory is to the assembled devotees. All glory is to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Merry Christmas, and Happy Hanukkah. Tonight is also any Jewish karmas. Okay. Are you at sunset? Are you going to light a menorah? What's going to happen?
I probably should. The family didn't get me to the habit. Maybe
I think you've tested out, as they say in the academy. You've tested out. You've transcended the menorah. All right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, of all-pervading personality of Godhead, now from our respectful obeisances unto you. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, translation and commentary by Srila Prabhupada. Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 25, the characteristics of King Puranjan. Today's text number 31. Vad ananam subrusatara lochanam.
Varananam Subrusitara Lochanam.
Vyalam vinilalaka vrinda samrutam.
Vilam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam.
Punyame darshya vargavachakam.
Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Yadvrindayana vimukam shuchismate.
Yadvidayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
Tvadananam subhru sutara lochanam.
Varananam Subrusitara Lochanam.
Vyalam vinilalaka vrinda samrutam.
Vilam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam.
Punyame darshya vargavachakam.
Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Yadvrindayana vimukam shuchismate.
Yadvidayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
Parananam subhru sutara lochanam.
Varananam Subrusitara Lochanam.
Vyalam vinilalaka vrinda samrutam.
Vilam Vrinda Samritam.
Punyame darshya vargavachakam.
Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Yadvrindayana vimukam shuchismate.
Yadvidayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
Chant.
Varananam Subrusitara Lochanam.
Varananam
Subrusitara Lochanam. Vyalam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam. Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam. Yadvidayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
Varananam subrusutara lochanam.
Varananam Subrusitara Lochanam.
Yalam vigilalaka vrinda samritam.
Vilam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam.
Punyame darshaya bhagavachakam.
Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Yadvidayana vimukam shuchismite.
Yadvidayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
Varanam Subrusitara Lochanam.
Parananam subrusutara lochanam.
Vyalam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam.
Vilam Vinilaka Vrinda Samritam.
Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Punyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Yadvrindayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
Yadvidayana Vimukam Shuchismite.
It's not that hard. Come on. Nothing really tricky in this one. No? How about our guests? Can you sing?
But I'll go in my own accent. Is that fine?
You mean your own melody?
You know, my accent. Yeah.
Accent?
May I not go with the rhythm?
That's fine.
But ananam subrusutara lochanam.
Varananam subrusutara lochanam.
Yalam vigilalaka vrinda samritam.
Vyalam Vinayaka Vrinda Samritam.
Niyame darshaya valguvachakam.
Duruniyame Darshaya Bhagavachakam.
Yad vrindayanaabhimukam suchismite.
Yadridayana Shuchismite.
All I heard was the W's for the V's, but that's fine. Are you from Bengal?
No, like the Sanskrit text goes like this.
Right. But I mean, it's transliterated here as V, and you said W. The Bengalis do that. Are you from Bengal?
No, we are from South.
South.
We speak Telugu
Telugu. Ah, you're from,
from Telangana.
okay. Good. Welcome. You speak good English. I can't speak a word of Telugu. All right, word for word. But your ananam face, subhru, having nice eyebrows, sutara, with nice pupils, lochanam, eyes, vyalambi, scattered, nila, bluish, alakabrinda, by locks of hair, sambritam, surrounded, unniya, having raised, may, unto me, darshaya, show, valguvachakam, having words very sweet to hear, yat, which face, hridaya, by shyness, na, not, abhimukam, face to face, suchismite, oh woman with lovely smiles. You can tell what kind of a translation this is going to be. Very romantic. All right, Jen, this is Paranjan addressing the lady. Translation, my dear girl, your face, not yet. My dear girl, your face is so beautiful, with your nice eyebrows and eyes, and with your bluish hair scattered about. I thought bluish hair was only in Hollywood. Blue hair, bluish, scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. Please repeat, my dear girl. Your face is so beautiful. With your nice eyebrows and eyes. And with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. Okay. To the Prabhupada's purport. Now, Prabhupada just cuts to the chase. Listen to this. Such a speech is typical of a living entity attracted by the opposite sex. This is called bewilderment, as occasioned by becoming conditioned by material nature. When thus attracted by the beauty of the material energy, one becomes very eager to enjoy. This is elaborately described in this instance of Paranjans becoming attracted by the beautiful woman. In conditional life, the living entity is attracted by a face, eyebrows or eyes, a voice, and Prabhupada says, or anything. In short, everything becomes attractive. When a man or a woman is attracted by the opposite sex, it does not matter whether the opposite sex is beautiful or not. The lover sees everything beautiful in the face of the beloved, and thus becomes attracted. This attraction causes the living entity to fall down in this material world. This is described in Bhagavad Gita 7:27. So if anybody ever tells you we didn't fall, you tell them that Prabhupada would cite this verse very often as the how we fell verse. Right in the Gita. Ichchadvesha samuttena dvandvamohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. Quote, O scion of Bharat, Arjuna, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate. This condition of life is called avidya. Opposed to this, okay, that means ignorance. Opposed to this avidya is real knowledge. Sri Isopanishad distinguishes between vidya and avidya, knowledge and ignorance. By avidya, ignorance, one becomes conditioned. And by vidya, knowledge, one becomes liberated. Paranjan admits herein that he is attracted by avidya. Now he wishes to see the complete feature of avidya. He's attracted by avidya. He wants more avidya, right? Now he wishes to see the complete feature of avidya, and so requests the girl to raise her head so that he can see her face to face. He thus wishes to see the various features that make avidya attractive. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanam Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest avidya, ignorance. My spiritual master has kindly opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. For my respectful obeisances unto him. Oof. All right. So, yeah, text, this really follows the text that Lalita did on Sunday. They kind of go together. So, the translation to what she read was, Paranjan he's again coming on to her and says, certainly your glancing upon me today has very much agitated my mind. Your smile, which is full of shyness, but at the same time lusty, is agitating the most powerful Cupid within me. It's all her fault, right? Therefore, O most beautiful, I ask you to be merciful upon me. And now in this verse, he takes responsibility, actually, because he admits that he's not only admits, he's like embracing ignorance. He's willfully ignoring truth, reality, and embracing ignorance. My dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice eyebrows and eyes and with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Interesting, and the word for word. Valgu vachakam, having words very sweet to hear. So in translation, he says, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. You're not looking at me. Look at me. I'm your hero, right? He's already said, I'm your hero. I want to be your hero. I want you to be my wife. Face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. Because when we smile, we become more beautiful. Nothing, you know, it's just a smile just makes everything so nice. Okay, raise your head to see. So, yes. So, first note I had is Prabhupada cuts to the chase, and yeah, the first and second sentences, especially the second one. In addition, the purport, yeah. So Prabhupada says in the purport, such a speech is typical of a living entity attracted by the opposite sex. This is called bewilderment, occasioned by becoming conditioned by material nature. Does that sentence echo anything that you might have read in Prabhupada's books? The style of, I'll read it again. This is called bewilderment occasioned by becoming conditioned by material nature. I'll give you a hint. Nectar of devotion. Has anybody read the symptoms of ecstatic love and nectar of devotion? Or the different rasas? Yeah. So this is an instance of ghastliness caused by, you know, this is how it's described. This is how Prabhupada's writing and how he's translating Rupa Goswami and Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu. So here he's applying it to, and that's all about what's going on in the spiritual energy. So here he's using the same style. This is called bewilderment, occasioned by becoming conditioned by material nature. Okay. So to end the class, we're gonna talk about how. So that's the bewilderment. That's the bewilderment of the conditioned soul. But at the end of the class, I want to share with you real ecstatic bewilderment. Yeah, because there is such. Because where does bewilderment comes from? It comes from the spiritual world. There's also bewilderment in the spiritual world, but it's real bewilderment and it's ecstatic. It's full of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. Okay, so hold me to that if I forget, but I won't forget because it's all in CC. Yeah, right here. Okay, next, Srila Prabhupada points out in the purport that when one wants to enjoy sex, everything becomes attractive to the would-be enjoyer, whether the beloved is beautiful or not. Love is blind and lovers cannot see the folly that they themselves commit. Robert Browning. Yeah, love is blind. So Puranjan doesn't care that he's been blinded by lust. He's embracing because he wants to enjoy so much, right? So the beloved face becomes the focus of all hopes to enjoy. It's everything he's describing is her face, just the face. You know, and then what does it say in the purport? And word for word. Sutara with nice pupils. The pupil is which part of the eye? Is it the center? That's the black part. It's the colored part that usually I think of as being attractive because you know it's blue or nice brown-eyed girl. They said a song, brown-eyed girl, blue, green. But the pupils are just these central black pools. But there's something I'm missing. I guess I'm missing it. Maybe I'm fortunate, right? Something to become more bewildered by material. Yeah, pupils. The beloved face becomes the focus of all hopes to enjoy. I remember the first, if you've ever seen Yadavar Prabhu's Following Srila Prabhupada, it's all the films that have ever been shot, but mostly by him, of this kind. But there's also a few that weren't this kind. There were some TV station films, and then, but the first film, yes, the first film was taken by Richard and Susan Whitty, and they were budding filmmakers, and they became rather accomplished filmmakers the counterculture in the 60s. And Susan, this series is, if you haven't seen it, it's so wonderful because you're seeing the films. The film was silent, but then you're hearing the commentary of people who were either taking the film or were in the film. And they give you an more inside look at what's going on in the film. So Susan Whitty, there's this beautiful, they took films of Prabhupada at Ananda Ashram in Monroe, New York. What's his name? Dr. Ramamurti Mishra, Dr. Mishra's ashram in upstate New York. And they were there in 65. And you see the silent film of Prabhupada serving prasad. He would cook. He would go up with Dr. Mishra, although philosophically they were gods, but they were kind of both sort of in the Vedic tradition. Although Prabhupada was way beyond him. He was, Dr. Mishra admitted he saved me. I was in poor health. And his prasad saved me. He nursed me back to health with prasad. But you see in the film, Prabhupada, after he'd cooked, everybody loved Swamiji's cooking. And then he would serve from his own hand. And you'd see him saying, take more, you know. And then you see Susan and Richard Whitty, they went down and they followed. They were fascinated by him. And then they followed him down, to the next year, he started ISKCON in New York at 26 2nd Avenue. And there's silent picture films of Prabhupada, just his face, And then Susan Whitty is ISKCON. And it was all in his face. Everything was concentrated in his face, his wisdom, his compassion, everything. Look at that. And she's just like becoming ecstatic talking about Prabhupada's face. So it's true, Prabhupada had this beautiful, even though he was appearing to us in the body of an old man, Prabhupada's face is so beautiful, transcendentally beautiful. And in the book, you ever read The Hare Krishna Explosion by my late godbrother, Hayagriva Prabhu? He reports that when he was in Ananda Ashram in the summer, it was a kind of Indian summer, it was in the fall, in 66, because they had met Swamiji by then. So Swamiji, he took them up to Ananda Ashram. Even though he had started ISKCON, he thought it'd be a nice outing, for the devotees. They were all in the hellish city. So Hayagriva says he had a dream one night. They were all sleeping outside. It was so warm and nice at Ananda Ashram, not far from Woodstock, actually, in upstate New York. And they were just sleeping outside. And then he had this dream. And in this dream, there was this beautiful golden boy in the dream. And then the boy in Hayagriva's dream, he was initiated, he was Hayagriva, started speaking to him, but he spoke to him in Prabhupada's voice. And so he was so bewildered. What? How was this golden boy Prabhupada's voice? So, and then in the dream, the others told him, "You don't know. This is Swamiji. This is his form in the spiritual world." And then the dialogue went silent in the dream, but then he heard Swamiji speaking to him in his voice, but silently. It was kind of an inner heart transmission. And Hayagriva, actually there's dialogue. He said, "Swamiji, why don't you, if this is your form, then why don't you show us this form?" And so Swamiji says, "Because if I showed you this form, you would follow me just for my beauty. and not for the knowledge that I'm telling you. Yeah, very interesting. So, okay. Yeah, so Prabhupada says, I love this what he says. The lover sees, it doesn't matter whether the opposite sex is beautiful or not, the lover sees everything beautiful in the face of the beloved and thus becomes attracted. Yeah, 1972, this reminded, when I read this, I smiled because I thought of something that happened like 52 years ago. I was on traveling Sankirtan with Rita Ananda and Satsrup Maharajas. And we were in, I think, Madison, Wisconsin. And anyway, we were talking about Maya and Krishna. And there we were in a college town with all these beautiful college girls, right? We were young men, even they were young as sannyasis. And so we started talking about, how it's not, the forms are not real in the material world. Today's young, beautiful girl is tomorrow's old lady. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote, the dazzling, deadly, liquid forms their hearts for air employ. Alas for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy. The dazzling, deadly, liquid, endlessly mutable, liquid beauty, liquid forms, their hearts for air employ. The shining bottles charm their eyes and drink and draw their hearts' embrace. The slaves of wine can never rise from what we call disgrace. It's all about the fall of the jiva and then the redemption of the jiva. He goes down to the depth, and then he takes him up. And by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, he's saved. So Hridayananda Maharaj said, Prabhu's, in his inimitable way, if you know Hridayananda Maharaj's way of joking, Prabhu's, when you're in Maya, practically speaking, even a rooster looks good. We went, huh? And he just started laughing at his own joke. Yeah, even a rooster looks good. Okay, so, all right, then Prabhupada, he goes to 727 as to why we fell into the material world. Due to desire and hate. Somehow we were with Krishna. And we wanted to enjoy. Like we wanted to see if we could be the big fish. We did this play in Gita Nagari, Big Fish, Little Fish. Have you ever seen a rendition of this in ISKCON?
Fish out of water.
Fish out of water, yeah. Yeah, we just called it Big Fish, Little Fish. And it was great. It was 1985. It was Sankirtan, end of the year Sankirtan Festival. Everybody came back from the marathon. We used to call it the Christmas Marathon then. And then we just decided we were going to put on a play. And it was so good because we all played ourselves. We all played caricatures of ourselves. I played a mad professor. And somebody else played, I remember the guy who played the boss, it was the little fish's boss, it was a slave driving boss. He called himself Yuppie Gutbucks. And then the guy who played the drug pusher, to see if the fish could, fish, you need some way to get high. He was a black devotee, and he called him Benny Benzedrine. And who else was there? Everybody played. Oh yeah, and the little fish is played by my late godbrother Gaurahari Prabhu, and Maya, or the fish you need a wife, was played by Gaurahari's actual wife, and she was beaten with a rolling pin, and all this stuff. Oh, it was a funny play. So desire and hate, because it's natural to enjoy. Why do we want to enjoy? Because Krishna wants to enjoy. We're part and parcel of Krishna, so we want to enjoy too. But we misplace this desire we get the misconception that we can enjoy separately from Krishna because we're marginal potency. And then as soon as we want to enjoy separately from Krishna, Krishna, he advises us, you don't really want to do this. We did this in the play too, where the big fish is saying, fish, this is where you belong, in the water. You don't want to go out there on the land. You're going to die there, so when we try to enjoy in the world of matter, we all become Puranjans, whether man or woman. We're all Prakriti trying to become Purushas. And it never works. Yeah, everything goes south, it turns sour. Take it from Uncle S. My body ain't what it used to be. But unless we purify that desire, even when the body's old, you still want to enjoy it. Okay, so Itchadvesha Samuttena Bandhamohena Bharata Sarvabhutani Samboham Sargayanti Parantapa. O sign of Bharat, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusions. We have this, we're deluded, we're foolish, overcome by the delusions of desire and hate. In other words, we fool ourselves into thinking we can enjoy without Krishna. Yeah, we're meant to enjoy it, but not without Krishna. Now, Prabhupada concludes that by ignoring the reality of Krishna as the primary enjoyer, we become conditioned, and only by spiritual knowledge do we become enlightened or free, and that's by the mercy of the devotees. Even when Krishna gives us this, this Hollywood set of a place to enjoy. This is the imitation world, right? It's not the real world. I started an interview with Leonard Nimoy's son, Adam Nimoy, Mr. Spock's son, Star Trek. Any Trekkies in the house? Okay. So, as a kid, he was a 10-year-old kid, and his father, his big break was his father got this role to play the Vulcan, in Star Trek. So he said he got to tag along with Dad because he was the son of one of the stars on the set, and so he got to see, what was actually the Enterprise, was actually just a facade, and that was some planet was just a facade. Everything was a facade, everything was. It wasn't real. Yeah. So, so the interviewer said, I don't want to hear this. I'm still a Trekkie.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, so that's why we don't want to hear it. When people generally, when they preach about how the material world is Dukali on the Shashvatam, and it's just, the body's not a real body, it's an imitation. Because it just takes all the romance out of the material world, right? Oh, gee, I don't want to hear that. I'd rather be an illusion. Yeah, unless the devotees, you get the mercy of the devotees. Just like today, most of the people coming here today for a nice Christmas dinner from noon to 5 or 6 or whenever it ends, they're coming for a Christmas dinner. They're not coming to here. They're not coming to the temple to hear Bhagavatam. They're not here now, but they'll be here in a few hours. But they're going to get Krishna anyway, because as Prabhupada says, the devotees are more kind than the Lord because they know the purpose of the Lord. So we're going to give them Krishna in a form that they can all take and just really relish. And then they're going to see how nice the devotees are, if we're actually in devotee mood. Want to show our best face, our devotee face. And they're going to, they're going to make it, they're going to come closer to Krishna. Yeah. So, yes. So further, Prabhupada finishes the purport by saying that Puranjan now enthusiastically admits, he's embracing that he's attracted by avidya, ignoring that he's willfully ignoring that he's not the enjoyer, and asks the girl to raise her head so he can see all attractive features of her face. He wants her to look at him. Now, here's where Uncle S is going to resurrect a samskar, a scar from his past, and try to redeem it by using it, by seeing it in Krishna's service. As soon as I read this, what did I read? I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. 60 years ago, in 1964, there was a hit song. Not going away, it's in there. So I got to engage it. I got to use it, right? You got to Yukta Vairagya is going to save me, I hope. And it was so popular, even though it wasn't a Beatles song. 64 we're talking about. And this is in the fall, right? You know, months after Ed Sullivan. And it was amidst all the Beatles songs and the soul song, you know, James Brown and everything. There was this outlier song from South America, from Brazil, as they say. And it was sung by Astrid Gilberto. And it was actually the song was written in 62, but the 64 version that was arranged by a jazz saxophonist. He had an orchestra named Stan Getz. Stan Getz. Okay, so we're getting close. So now, do you know the song? Tall and tan and young and lovely, the gal from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes. Yeah. So Puranjan's request reminded me of the young man's wish to catch the beautiful girl's glance in the girl from Ipanema. So what it is there's a part of Rio de Janeiro, where it's called Ipanema. It's a little seaside part of Rio, seaside village. And it's where everybody, it's a beautiful place. And it's right on the seashore. It's right on the seashore. And so there's cafes. And then so there were two writers in 62. There were two songwriters, lyrics and music. And they were thinking they would get inspiration for their songs just by going to Ipanema and sipping their whatever they were drinking. And then they became totally smitten by an actual girl. The girl from Ipanema was actually inspired by a real life girl. And so every day they would go there, and they were getting a crush on this girl. They were older men, They're getting a crush on this girl, tall and tan and young and lovely. The girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes because that's what they were doing, right? And then, so Astrid Gilberto singing. She's actually a Brazilian girl. Stan Getz recruited her to sing this. So she's singing in this bossa nova beat, and she's going, oh, but he watches so sadly. So he's singing. He's watching the girl, but she's not watching him. How can you tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly, but each time when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at he. Poetic license is supposed to be him, right? We're not at he. Dun, 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 dun. So Sam Guess, he's there. Yeah, how come I know all these details? I mean, I remember the song, but I also looked at a YouTube video of the whole thing. Right? And Stan Getz is right there with his sweet, sax. And he's looking at Astrid, and she's looking at him. No, she's not looking at him. That's right. She's just, but she's very sweet. And his sweet sax. And so it's a very dreamy, kind of wistful thing, how the guy is wishing, because Astrid's singing about this observer who's observing the girl from Ipanema. So Astrid's smooth bossa nova delivery captures the wistful and dreamy atmosphere of the moment, which is our hope against hope to enjoy. This is Puranjan in 1964, or any time. This is how we are in the material world. Okay, so now we're going to redeem the whole thing by showing how that this tendency to become bewildered and attracted by the opposite sex, it's right there in Krishna with Radha. Yeah. So right in CC, the confidential reasons for the Lord's appearance. So, here we go. It's text 83, it's Adi 4, the confidential reasons, Lord's appearance, text 83 through 95. So, I'm just going to read the translations in the interest of time. So, this is, I'm not sure, this is from a Shastra. So it's in quotes. Quote, the transcendental goddess, Srimati Radharani, is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She's the feminine aspect of Krishna. She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Krishna is the potent, and he has this internal potency which attracts him. And he wanted to experience what it's like to be attracted by, to attract Krishna. Am I saying it? So he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was Krishna in the mood of Radha to experience that attraction. So, Devi means resplendent and most beautiful. Now this is the reality. This is not like the girl from Ipanema who's going to get old really soon. In fact, I did see another, that was in 64, and then I saw a 1988 version, 24 years later, of Astrid singing the same song, and she was older, but she was still good, because she had a lot of makeup. But she was it was more like less innocent and more kind of like coy and, anyway. Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. Krishnamayi means one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. So this is the real thing. Because, if some girl attracts a boy, it's really she's trying to enjoy the boy, and the boy's trying to enjoy the girl. So they're really just serving their own lust. It's not love. It's not real, because real love is selfless. She sees Lord Krishna wherever she casts her glance. Yeah. Everything is just made of Krishna praying. And that's right in the next verse. Or Krishnamayi means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. So that's the oneness and the difference. Radha and Krishna are one, but they're also difference to enjoy rasa. I'll just read this short purport in that regard. Purport, Krishnamayi has two different imports. First, a person who always thinks of Krishna both within and without. and who always remembers only Krishna. Wherever he goes or whatever he sees is called Krishnamai. So we can become like that too. If everything reminds us of Krishna, we can become Krishnamai. Also, since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency, Radharani, being non-different from him, is called Krishnamai. Text 87. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. That's her only, that's her life and soul, fulfilling Krishna's, pleasing Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her, we named my daughter Radhika. Yeah. Truly, the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Truly, not falsely. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. This is another verse now from Bhagavatam. All the gopis are saying, they disappeared. It's that rascal Krishna has left us. And he's taken his favorite. We knew that she was his favorite. Leaving us all behind. This is from Bhagavatam 10:30-28. The Gopi Gita. Translation. Therefore, Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess, and she is worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. And then Kaviraj Goswami, that's Kaviraj Goswami, he's also saying in this verse, I have already explained the meaning of Sarva Lakshmi. Radha is the original source, goddess is a fortune. Then he says, or Sarva Lakshmi indicates that she fully represents the 6 opulences of Krishna. Therefore, she is the supreme energy of Lord Krishna. And then he says, he's getting really analytical here, huh? The word, quote, Sarvakanti indicates that all beauty and luster rest in her body. All beauty and luster. All the Lakshmis derive their beauty from her. She's the original beauty. Everybody, everything, even in Maya. Maya is an expansion too, in the material world. Everything should remind us actually of the beauty of Radha. All the Lakshmis derive their beauty from her. Should I tell this in the last class? I think maybe I told Prabhu. That Prabhupada saw the Age of Kali play in New York City at the 55th Street Temple, the famous Hare Krishna building in New York that was unfortunately sold. And it was such a nice place. They had a theater in the building. And so the Vaikuntha players, Sudama and Lohitaksha and Rasagya and all these actors, Mangala, what's his name? Mangala. Anyway, Nandakishore. They all did the Age of Kali play. And for Prabhupada. So, I saw this on a memory series. So the person telling the memory said, so Prabhupada went in to see the play in this theater with all these sannyasis, all these stalwart sannyasis, TKG, and, all the fellows. And they were sitting, but the Age of Kali play was Kali, he's summoning all his agents, And then when he summons lust, that's played by Rasagya, who was so devoted, such a great devotee. Unfortunately, she's passed on, but she's a beautiful woman. She was all set to go become a Broadway actress. And then she got a book on the street for the devotees. Yeah, and that was it. She gave it up. She threw it all, She was right off Broadway, ready to go big time on Broadway. And then she just moved into the temple, threw it up, gave the whole thing. She was German-American and beautiful lady. And so when she came out on the stage, the Age of Kali, she's exhibiting all these, she's playing lust, so she's playing it up to the hilt. She's not drawing the veil, she's doing it. she's doing it. And so Prabhupada is really appreciating. She's looking, and all the sannyasis are going. And Prabhupada's looking, sometimes he looks at them and he's smiling. And he's saying, just see how well she's playing the part. But because, still in recovery from the 60s, even if you're a so-called sannyasi, so they couldn't do it. It was still too fresh. It was still too, afflicted by that remnant of lust. But Prabhupada said, just see. You should, and then afterwards he told them, you should see, you should appreciate the beauty of Krishna, of Radha. Whenever you see anything, it should remind you of the beauty of Radha and Krishna. So that's the vision of a Paramhamsa, not a recovering conditioned soul. All right, so the beauty from her. Just a few more verses. Kaviraj Goswami says, Kanti may also mean all the desires of Lord Krishna. All the desires of Lord Krishna rest in Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radhika fulfills all the desires of Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of Sarva Kanti. And listen to this. This is where the divine bewilderment comes in. Lord Krishna enchants the world, but Sri Radha enchants even him. Therefore, she is the supreme goddess of all. Sri Radha is the full power. Okay, that's it. And enchantress, the word for enchantress in the Bengali or Sanskrit is Mohini. Mohini, like Mohini Murti. So she can enchant even Krishna. Okay, so bewilderment is there. Everything is there in the spiritual world, but Krishna is the center of it. We can become so bewildered by anything in the material world, but forgetting Krishna. But even Krishna becomes bewildered by the beauty of Radharani, and even pure devotees become bewildered. Like I mentioned before, Vidura's wife was serving Krishna with a banana peel instead of a banana. And Vidura was even more bewildered that Krishna was eating the peel, because he was appreciating the divine madness, the devotion of Vidura's wife. Okay, it's 9:00. I think I went too long. Didn't want to leave questions. Maybe we'll. All right, quick. All right. Huh?
We're staying together.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll continue class as they do at Krishna House over breakfast. You do?
Mine was quick. I don't know if it's the dream that devotee had, but I heard that somewhere that Prabhupada said, why I didn't come when I was younger, and it's because you wouldn't be able to handle my beauty.
Well, that's what he's similar.
I don't know if that's,
similar.
It's a two.
Well, it sounded like they got the story a little wrong, but that was right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same thing or another occurrence when they were talking to him. Then also maybe over breakfast, I was just wondering if you could expand on why 727 in the Gita shows how we fell down. If it's just that sentence, we're born in delusion, and that's what it's from, or to be able to understand that more, to be able to explain it.
Okay, it's pretty plain to me. It's pretty plain to me. Let's talk. Yeah, right. But Prabhupada says in the purport, there's an example. That's why we fell. He uses it.